A team of researchers from the University of Rwanda College of Education, led by Associate Professor Celestin Hivuguruzwa and Dr. Olivier Habimana, conducted a study that aimed to examine the level of ICT-driven collaboration during the teaching and learning of science and basic computing in Rwandan secondary schools. As these researchers concluded their study, they organized a findings dissemination workshop in Kigali. They invited teachers from some secondary schools who helped them as respondents and others who teach science and ICT. Dr. Olivier Habimana, the deputy principal investigator of the project, explains why they decided to undertake this research.
Actually, there was a complaint that science and the basic computing are not well taught, and this leads to the poor performance. So as researchers, we wanted to investigate what is going on so that at least we can be able to contribute to the development of competencies of our teachers in terms of using ICT to support active learning as the basic methodology for teaching competence-based curriculum.
Dr. Mathias Ndwingoma, a member of the research team, explains the role of ICT in education nowadays, why they were motivated to research this topic, and the challenges found.
ICT is a pillar in education. We cannot do education nowadays without ICT, because in every part ICT is a tool that is helping teachers, that is helping students also to learn. Of course, in our research, what we did was to see how ICT is being used when teachers are practicing the active learning, where we are checking how ICT can help students to be engaged in learning activities, how students can be also motivated. And we have searched also that ICT can help students to collaborate between themselves and to collaborate also between themselves and the teacher. So this is what we did, and today we are trying to disseminate our findings with some teachers from some secondary schools who are teaching in a lower level. About the challenges that we have found, we found that some teachers, they need to be trained so that they get more tools that can help them to practice the learner-centered pedagogy, where active learning is also being used, where project-based learning and also problem-based learning can be used. That is one. The second is there are some schools where they don't have enough ICT tools. I mean here, ICT equipment. And there's some schools where teachers, they don't get access very freely, or they don't have these tools with themselves so that they can practice every time when they want.
Associate Professor Celestin Hivuguruzwa, who leads the project, explained to the participants the many stages of their work and emphasized that they needed to present the project's results that day.
We want to show the research outcomes, and we want to show the training materials we developed. And then, of course, we can't train at once all teachers in the country, but we hope also that once you are convinced that this is important, then it can be disseminated and it can be extended to others.
According to Dr. Hayumana, the objectives of their project were threefold.
The first objective was to investigate how our teachers are using collaborative tools to support teaching and learning of science and basic computing. Particularly, how do they use the ICT tools to collaborate with learners and to collaborate with their colleagues. The second objective was now to see, apart from the collaboration between teachers and students, how are teachers collaborating with the content, what we call ICT-led engagement with content, and how learners are collaborating with the content, what we are calling ICT-led engagement with content. So then from the two objectives, we found now where the gap is, and that one came up with the third objective, where we decided now to design a training manual which is built from the findings of the first two objectives.
Dr. Hayumana also takes us through the boundaries, target population, variables, methods, and limitations of their study.
The research was conducted in 10 different districts in Rwanda, and we chose each one school in each district, where the participants were the deputy head teachers, and the students.
I asked him why such a great project has limitations, and he explained that despite its potential, the project faced limitations due to resources constraints and technical challenges.
This study was focusing on the ICT. So the first choice was now to find the schools with smart classrooms, because we couldn't go to investigate how ICT is being used without checking where we are going they are having the ICT infrastructure. That was the motivation, and because of the limited budget we couldn't cover the whole country, but we decided now, fine, let's take some rural district and the district in the city. So that is how we came up to choose the 10 districts.
Associate Professor Ntivuguruzwa explained why the team developed this project.
We wanted to have a project which can contribute to the quality of education in basic education. And this specific project, ICT-supported active learning using ICT. It was to assess or to do a situation analysis on the gaps which we are still facing while using the ICT in teaching, especially STEM subjects. And then after doing the situational analysis, knowing the gaps, then develop strategies on how we can contribute to the enhancement of the teaching and learning or quality of education using the ICT in teaching STEM subjects.
What do you recommend to teachers who are called on to use those ICT tools?
That is very important, and as our recommendations are based on the findings, you have seen that in the findings they are now trying to do what you call community of practice. So we are recommending our teachers to continue that good way of community of practice so that they can share their ideas. From the interview, we found that some teachers, they are using those tools, but others do not know. So then through the community of practice, we are sure that our teachers will be able to incorporate the ICT tools that are necessary for supporting active learning.
It is the way forward to addressing those challenges find out in your research.
Yeah, our findings and the recommendations that we have from this research, they are going to help first teachers, students, and also the school management to improve the way ICT is used. Where they don't have enough material, we are helping them, or we are recommending them to work with the government so that they can get those material.
In these specific projects, we found that there is still the gap which are related to infrastructure, which are related to devices, and which are related to the capacity of students and teachers to use the available teaching and learning resources, to use the ICT devices, to access the software of teaching and learning when they are preparing, when they are implementing their lessons.
Any further comment?
The comment that I can make is that there is a gap in the monitoring and evaluation of what has been given. For instance, when seeing the teachers, by asking them, they will say, okay, we have attended the training, but yet they are not using what they got from the training, and they have forgot. Because of what? There is a need now of monitoring and evaluating as a mechanism to enforce the use of what was gained through the training.
And also, we recover the use of simulations for conducting science experiments, and also how you can access script the lessons and customize them to your class teaching.
The workshop not only aimed to share the study findings with invited teachers, but also an opportunity for the researchers to train them in the use of ICT tools and softwares which are frequently used in teaching and learning science subjects. This training session was conducted by Dr. Danica Mohanda and Mr. Evariste Mumvaneza, who are lecturers of computer science and members of the research team. We asked Dr. Kamuhanda some questions about the training, to which he responded. He noted that the training was somehow a contribution of the University of Rwanda College of Education in general, and of the concerned researchers in particular, to the implementation of the research recommendations.
In this workshop, I was introducing to secondary school teachers different ICT tools which they can integrate in their teaching activities.
As you have presented the findings of your research, I would like to know the way forward after this presentation of the findings.
Yeah, the way forward, we have already started it. It was as we identified some gaps in the awareness of the available tools and the use of them in teaching and learning. We have started this workshop to provide a quick guide to get started.
We asked Professor Celestin Hivuguruzwa about the implementation of their research recommendations. Who must take the lead in the implementation of your recommendations?
The first lead must be taken by the teachers themselves, the students, but of course the leaders of schools, the leaders at ministry level, the leaders of local government, and in general the country. But at the university, and specifically the College of Education, who have the mandate of preparing the teachers at all levels, we must take the lead. in implementing the community of practice, in training teachers at the College of Education, making sure that at the graduation time they are ready for job.
What is the role of policymakers in this context?
Policymakers have a very big role in implementing these recommendations, because policymakers need to develop and implement policies which are enabling the environment of using those tools of implementing ICT in teaching, in assessment, in all of components of quality basic education.
You have conducted this research, you have published your findings, you have made your findings. I would like to know the way forward after this stage.
After the stage, we have published an article. I'm requesting all concerned people, interested people to read and see those recommendations. We have the training manual. We have trained these 20 teachers, but the country has many teachers, and I think and I hope those who are in charge will escalate the training so that many teachers can benefit. Secondly, we are requesting those in charge to combine efforts so that devices needed in especially primary and secondary education to increase the number of schools which are using ICT. Investment is needed.
Teachers who participated in the workshop acknowledge that the researchers' findings reflect the reality in schools. They are committed to using ICT materials to enhance teaching and learning science subjects.
The findings is reflecting the reality on the ground, where you find some students are getting some lower performance, especially in science subject. What I can say about this, we are taking small time in integrating ICT when we are teaching the science subject. Yeah, that is the reality they have got in the correction of those data during the research. The ICT integration is somehow at the lower level. So the other finding is that in the performance, especially in national examinations, or even when you are teaching, the research is showing that some students are failing in science subjects. They are failing in science subject, and this was the result of that.
That research meet with the reality according to the research presentation we have seen. The science subjects are still lower in performance.
I very strongly agree with the findings, because they have tried to capture the real image of how the situation of the use of ICT in education is really. What I can say on these findings is that what they have shown is a reality. For example, there are some points which should be focused on, like the collaboration among students or among teachers, and how students should be using the ICT tools. There are some points that should be that have been highlighted that should be put. They need the effort to be put on, like that of collaboration. And there are some good steps that have been made which need to be enforced and to be encouraged in all schools to be fostered.
Do you think this research is important?
It is very important, because it shows where our education using ICT, the use of ICT in education in our country is where it even shows where it has started from and where it is now and where they want it or we want it to be in the future. It is very important. Yeah.
Do you have any commitment towards finding out solutions to identified problems or challenges?
So I am very committed to put more effort on what the ICT tools that we have not yet used adequately to the level that they are to be used now.
After seeing these findings, we have seen that we teachers, especially in our country, we have to change. We are going to help our students how to use ICT tools, and we implement it in our teaching and in our teaching science subject.
What I can add is that I'm going to encourage other teachers to use ICT tools in education. I'm going to sensitize or to encourage teachers to use ICT tools because I have seen that they are very important in today's education, because I have seen that ICT is the basis of today's education.
What can I add? Because when we use the tools, mainly ICT tools, and remove that sound from the abstract and come back to reality, the science subject can be maximized in national exams as other subject.
I can call other teachers to not take science as it is abstract. Using these ICT tools, we can make the abstract the real one. By applying those small simulations we have found, we can try to take the science which is thought that it is abstract and we put it into reality. And even someone can manipulate, let's say our students, they can manipulate it.
This is Diane Sengati of the Rwanda Basic Education Board commended the thorough presentation of the research findings. She reflected on the transformative impact of technology on societal behaviors and underscored the importance of educators guiding students to leverage technology effectively in their learning journey.
Our time, the flash disk came when I was already in service. So we used to put them like this around. We were really proud of, like, everyone should see that I have a flash disk of how many megabytes. And then probably we'll learn different things because they don't know the objective of the learning. They don't understand where they need to be. And this is where you find the students learning actually something else rather than, because they are most interested. If they go to Twitter, if they go to Instagram, they like Instagram. Don't ask them not to go to Instagram, but put content on Instagram. And then they will use it for learning. And then they will not be distracted.
Dr. Innocent Twagirimana, the acting dean of the